Okay, so here inside this group is called the Rebels of MLM, and we teach things a little bit different than I would say 95% of the industry out there. But that does not mean that we're not part of this industry. We have the best corporate partner out there, Vasayo. We've chosen the best company. It's a global leader in effective nutritional supplements. And today, joining us is my friend and the co-founder and president of Vasayo himself, Daniel Picou. Thanks for being here, Daniel.
Absolutely. Happy to be on. Thanks, Jen.
Great. So let me just give you all a little insight into this amazing man. Daniel's built two successful companies that were later acquired in the B2B digital marketing space. They included the creation and management of campaigns that involved targeting traffic, customer engagement, and lead generation for both customer and representative acquisition. He also served as an outside strategic consultant, helping businesses expand operations and gain market share, and as an expert in the global business strategy and development. He also understands that companies today have to be strategic and data-driven to stay on top of market trends and to meet customer needs. And for all of you who have yet to meet him, I cannot wait for you to meet him in person on stage at our events, because his personal story is one that will wow you and amaze you. He's a totally incredible human being. I'm so grateful that he's here with us. So welcome again, and thank you for being here and taking the time to share inside this group and my team just how special this company really is.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me on here, and thanks for such a kind and nice introduction. And I've loved working with you and your team the last couple of years. So thanks for having me on today.
Absolutely. Thank you for being here. So let's just get into it. First thing I want to ask you, and I want you to tell everybody, is why Vasayo?
Why Vasayo? That's a great question. So I knew of Dallin's history prior to us partnering together, and I knew of the success he had. And we had a friendship for 1.5 to 2 years prior to partnering. And I just had a tremendous amount of respect for what he achieved on one hand, on the left side, on the business side. And then on the right side, the personal side, I just saw somebody that cared about people, loved people, and wanted to go out and help people. And I think he's made a career out of changing people's lives, both economically and through their health, through providing a quality nutritional product and products. And so long story short, we teamed up together, and I saw the potential of this business. I saw what was possible in going out and helping one who gets another, and they get another. And we all know the basic gist of what the power of this industry and the exponential potential of the industry. But we partnered together, and it's really changed me the last couple of years. I got to tell you, I was more of a traditional numbers guy prior to this. I've always loved people, but to really be intimately involved in people's lives and their stories, I would say my why's change when you ask why Vasayo. I'd say the reason I came here versus why I'm doing it now is different. And I started my business career out of desperation and not inspiration. It's hard to inspire people when you're trying to put food in your mouth. And that was years ago. And I think the biggest reason, if you ask me to sum it up in 60 seconds for you, even though I've taken 2 minutes, if you ask me to sum it up, why Vasayo, I'd say to give people the seed that I can help water, that they can be more, have more, do more, that what they think they're achieving is just a portion of what they're capable of achieving. And so I'm a big believer in human potential and maximizing that potential. And so why Vasayo for me is I want to help a bunch of Daniels out there, people that didn't know what was possible, and give them some hopes, give them some dreams, and show them that, hey, there's a different way to live life, and you actually can be free. You can take that trip you've always dreamed of taking. You can set your family free. So for me, the why is to help a lot of people out there achieve what it is they want to achieve, or maybe set a bar that they didn't even know was possible.
I love that. That's so powerful. And I think, our whys are always changing, no matter what stage of the game you enter into a vehicle like MLM and this company in particular. It's going to continue to change, and I love that. So my next question is, based on your prior experience before even Vasayo, all the success you've had in corporate and traditional businesses, obviously your background is in lead generation and traffic, which is our jam here inside this group on this team. Yep. Teaching people how to acquire customers, ethically, the right way, and staying on top of the trends and being ahead with modern marketing. So my question, knowing that, is knowing that that's what we teach, that's the bread and butter of this group in particular. Why would you say to someone to be in this group, on not just Vasayo, but in this group with this specific team and with the leadership that we have?
That's a great question. I think I'm a big John Maxwell fan. John Maxwell talks about everything rises and falls on leadership. And whether it's a church or a home or a business, you can look at the success and failure based on, it's like quarterbacks. People say, well, why does a quarterback in the NFL make 25 million and another player makes $500,000? Why is a quarterback paid 40 or 50 times more? Well, the quarterback gets all the credit when things go well. And when things don't go well, the first person that the media shoves 15, 20 microphones in their face after a football game is the quarterback, because a lot falls on the quarterback's shoulders. And I think leadership in business is the same way. The rewards are big, the potential is big, but everything rises and falls on leadership. And so I'm a big believer in this team. I'm a big believer in what you guys are doing. First and foremost, I want to see a lot of you guys win, and I see the potential of what you guys are doing. You're not only in the right company at the right time. Our timing's amazing from a branding company standpoint, where we're at, where this brand and this company's at right now. But your team is incredible. And I think this team offers a sense of culture, a sense of unity, and a lot of people that just want to go out and help other people win. And so I love that. I think the other thing is look, we're younger people that are out there and going to be in Vasayo for a long, long, long time. It can impact people of all ages. And I know you, Jen, want to take a bunch of people and go win with a bunch of folks.
Absolutely.
I'd say being on this team, there's a ton of support. And that'd be the biggest thing I'd share with you is the support's there. You've got people that you can earn while you learn, and people that'll go help you on your journey. That's a huge thing.
Amen to that. I love that. So you kind of touched a little bit on the timing. What would you say, if you could speak a little bit more on that, or even get into the projections of where this company is headed? I would love to.
Great question. I always tell people we haven't scratched the scratch of the surface. And I really mean that. People will say, well, that might be marketing hype. No, not at all. I truly believe we haven't even touched Dallin and I always talk about building a big foundation. You dig deep, and then you start building the building. I barely think we're on the first floor of building the building. And I think the last 3 years we've been digging the foundation. If you look at any company in business, whether in our industry or not, you've got to get all of your operation. You've got to get everything in place before you can scale up. Everybody's heard the word scale, and scale is something you do. You scale up when you have tremendous growth. And I know that's what's ahead for us. And so from a projection standpoint, I don't get as excited about revenue. I get more excited about people. I get more excited about Jen Powers going out and completely setting herself free the next couple of years, and people on your team, whether upline or downline, set themselves free. That's really what I get. If I go help a bunch of people, thousands and eventually tens of thousands of people win, depending on, to some people, winning's an extra $500 a week. To other people, it's larger numbers. It's big numbers that would all make us go, wow, that's sizable income. No matter where those are for everybody individually. For me, I don't look at projections as revenue. I look at people. And if I can go help thousands and thousands of people win the next few years, we're going to have a massive company. I'm a firm believer in that. I don't want to set a bar as far as I want to do this much next year and that much the year after. I just want to go help thousands of people. And in turn, Zig Ziglar said, you help enough people get what they want, you'll have everything you want. And I'm a massive believer in living my life like that. And so my projections are we go help thousands of people win, we're going to have a sizable company.
Yes, can't wait. So good. I think the last thing I really want to ask is what would you say are the competitive advantages that Vasayo has against, there's a lot of companies. MLM's been around a really long time, and there's a ton of people in the health and wellness space, which is the space to be in. But what competitive advantages do we have as opposed to our competition?
I think you just made an interesting comment. Health and wellness is the space to be in. I think the reason why there's so many companies is because people see the potential of the marketplace. And I always share the story. I've shared it a dozen times since we started Vasayo, but I had a mentor in my 20s say, don't go invent the yo-yo. Don't be a niche player. Find a multi-billion-dollar market and carve out a piece of that industry. And that's what other companies are doing with wellness. And so I think people are saying, hey, this is a big market. That's why we're in it. That's why we're in it in other companies. So that's first and foremost. We're in every one of our products is in multiple billion-dollar. They're billion-dollar categories. every one of them, whether it's sleep, renew, eternal, be slim. I can go down the list. So first and foremost, we know the market potential is there. 7 billion people on planet Earth. We know there's a big potential to go out and impact people's health. Forget the business side, just their health. We know the market potential is there to go capture that market share. As far as where I see this going and what are the competitive advantages we have? First and foremost, I think it's our science. We take a fat bubble and wrap it around the nutrient, help it get in your body. You don't have to, be a scientist, but it's phosphatidylcholine. We take a fat bubble and wrap it and help it get into you. And so that's a big part. We've got science-based products. That's number one. Number two, we've got the management and corporate team that has the experience to build this all over the globe. We've got 5 global offices, 4 in Asia, 1 in North America. And we've got a management team and the experience to go build this. We've never missed a commission payment. We've never missed a shipment of products. Those are all big things. Number 3, we've got Dallon's reputation and what he's done before in building 2 big companies. History is not an exact predictor of success in the future, but you can look at somebody and say, okay, they've done it a couple times. He's going out to build his final 3rd company. I believe that's a big clue. So number 1, the science. Number 2, the executive management team and experience, depth of experience. Number 3, Dallon's reputation. And here's the 4th thing that I think when you say, what's the competitive advantage? Okay, let's just be candid. There's tons of network marketing companies, direct sales companies. There's tons of wellness companies, nutrition companies. Why are we different? I think the thing that sets us apart, besides just the science and our amazing life-changing impact product, are the culture and the community. And I've said this from the beginning, and I think we win this way. I've grabbed the shovel and dug into the trenches from day one. I'm a big believer in the relationships are what's going to make us win in the long run. And how are we different? We're different because we've got a team of people that are not trying to fight one another to be on top. They're trying to help one another get to the top. And that's a big difference. I know with you and your upline and your downline, there's a bunch of people that want to see you win, including myself and Dallon and the team. And so I think we're different. We stand out. When people get over here, they go, Vasayo's different. It's a different feeling. It's a different community. It's a group of people wanting to uplift one another, not tear down, the old crab analogy when there's a plastic bucket, and you throw 50 crabs in there and they're climbing out the side. They all pull each other down. We don't have a lot of people in Vasayo that pull each other down. They don't last long here at Vasayo. And so I think we're different because we want to help a ton of people win. We want to help you and everyone else win on here. And the last thing I would add for why are we different is not only do we have the experience, but we're hungry. I'm hungry. Dallon's hungry. And we're hungry to go achieve. I'm hungry to take this to the next level. I think a lot of times you find owners in our industry, not just our industry, maybe the guy that owns a local tire shop or the towing company, or he's a plumber, a painter, and he's comfortable with where he's at. A lot of people get very comfortable and complacent with where they're at. I'm not complacent. Dallon and I have had a lot of meetings over the last couple of weeks saying, we need to take this to the next level. 2021 is our year. It's our breakout. Let's go do this. Dallon and I are both hungry. We're surrounded by a bunch of hungry people here at corporate. I think that's a difference maker. If you say, what's the competitive advantage? You got owners and executives here that are hungry to go build a big company. And when you have those and you're all singing from the same music, the same sheet, I think powerful things can happen.
I love that. That just got me so fired up. I love hearing that so much. I have one last question. I know that was technically the last question that I said that I was maybe going to ask you, but what would you say, what do you wish that marketers asked you? Like, what questions do you wish they asked you? And also, and this is, I guess, a separate kind of question, but also, what would you say to a brand partner that the role of corporate plays in their business? So, as far as technology or resources that you provide, or what would be the role that you at corporate plays in the individual's business?
A great question. So I'll answer both those. I'll answer the what do I wish marketers would ask? I think the biggest thing I wish marketers would ask is, what are our intentions behind the company? I think that's a big thing that's not asked enough. If I were looking at the company, I'd ask Dallon and myself, what are your intentions with this company? Our intentions are to build a long-term lasting company, a legacy company. Are our intentions that we can wake up 10, 20 years from now and be proud of what we've built, So first and foremost, I wish marketers would ask more about the long term. So often marketing, especially in, you mentioned the fishbowl. We've got the attention span of a fishbowl. I always say the microwave theory. People stand in front of a microwave. The pizza says 4 minutes on the box, and after 60 seconds, you're yelling at your microwave because it's not done yet, even though Stouffer's told you it's 4 minutes. But we don't want to wait the extra 3 because our attention spans are this short. That's why marketers on TV, on the internet, everywhere are changing how they market to people. So I wish marketers asked more about the long term. That would be the number one thing. The next thing, I would say, that's a good, it's a good question. I'm trying to think of, be a little bit more specific.
Well, I think a lot of times people get into this industry and they expect to be it's a business,
Yep.
but it's very low risk, high reward, but they still expect to be spoon fed or, and it's still, at the end of the day, it is your business. You have to take ownership of that. So setting the expectation up front as what your role is, as opposed to what the role of the marketer is. And I know that, most people on this team, they kind of come in, they know that these are A players as it is, but just differentiating the different roles. And I kind of threw in what's the technology that we offer, which is a totally separate question, which we don't have to get into all that. But yeah, like what should be their expectation as your role in their business?
That's a great question. And when you asked it the first time, you asked, really what's our role and your role. And so thank you for clarifying at the end. Sure. I think to wrap this up, I think that's a fantastic question. Here's what I would tell you. Our job is to ship the products and pay commission first and foremost. With that said, there's a lot goes into that. Also, our role, I think a lot of times in this industry, you have ownership and executives that sit in an ivory tower, and there's a clear, distinct line between corporate and the field. Have we been perfect in getting rid of that line? No. Have we tried our darndest the last couple of years? Yes, in our transparency, in our communication to the field, in our communications with our leadership. And so I would tell you our role is obviously to always have product in stock, always to pay commissions, always to make sure that we're making decisions based on the long term. You asked what do I wish marketers would ask us? It's our intentions, and our intention is to build a legacy company. Well, I can flip that around and say on our side, we need to make the decisions and do the follow through to make sure that we're putting the company in a position to be a legacy company. And so our role is to obviously ship the products and pay commissions. But I think our second role is to help people cast a bigger vision and have belief in the company. Your discipline and action will only be concurrent with how strong your belief is. And if we don't do things at corporate to make sure that we have a strong and stable company, you won't have a high, strong belief in the company. And in turn, you won't feel comfortable going to market the company. That's an obvious statement. So I see one of our biggest roles in making sure that we're making the decisions in the short term that'll affect the medium and long term to make sure that everyone out there has a safe and healthy and prosperous business, because we have a safe and healthy and prosperous company. And in turn, you can have a prosperous business. So I think that's one of our biggest roles. And I want to see this role grow in the next couple of years where it's an inclusion, not a division. There's enough divisiveness out there with politics and all the craziness that's going on in our country. I want to see our role in corporate, where corporate and the field leadership are even more aligned, where they know what's happening. They know where our vision is. They know where we're taking this company. So I think you'll see a lot of that in 2021, 2022. So our role is multifaceted, and it's improving each and every day. And I take this very serious. I want everybody out there as we finish this up to know I don't take this lightly. Whether it's connecting with a brand partner who's had a life-changing experience on our products, whether it's somebody that's given up hope because they don't know if they can achieve success here because they've never had any financial success in their life. I take those people serious. I take people serious that have had success and maybe lost it and they want to rebuild it. No matter where you come from, I take serious what your dreams are, what your intentions are, what your goals are with our products. And so I want everybody to know that. And I take the role here that we have at corporate very, very serious. It's not an easy burden to go to sleep with at night. That's for sure.
Well, that was so amazing. I just want to thank you so much again. What I think this company, yes, it's amazing from a lucrative standpoint, from the mission, but it's also a company with heart. And as you said, you want to integrate as much corporate and on the field as possible. And I can speak from personal experience to that, you know, very early on, only a few months into my business, getting phone calls from yourself, from Dallin, just checking in and seeing and really just caring that much about the individual brand partner. And that's definitely not common, and that is not in any other company that I know about. So I just want to thank you so much for caring as much as you do, for pouring into my team, and cannot wait for this team, for those that haven't met you, to get the chance to meet you and everybody else in corporate, because you guys are amazing. So thank you, and I will let you go, but thanks so much for being here.
Absolutely. Thank you, Jennifer. Appreciate it. And for those of you I haven't met, look forward to meeting you guys. Thanks, and have a fantastic rest of your day.